Hola, hola, it's your girl Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome, and I am here to remind you. I'm a confidence coach, and I'm a bold stand for confidence, and I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. Hello, my darling. Oh my God. So I'm recording this episode at home in my new makeshift office because we are changing everything. I mean, literally every change that you can imagine is happening this month in the month of July. Holy moly. I don't know how you feel about change, but I am a Gemini and I love it. I'm a manifesting generator, if you know what that means. And I love change. I love the unknown. I was a foster kid, so moving and shifting and changing and moving across the country. I joined the military. I love how we're going to work it out. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Who knows? We'll work it out. I'm one of those people. So I love change. However, this month of July 2022 has brought us every single amount of change, literally in the 2 weeks, all at once. And I wanted to talk about that on the podcast, not only to give you a behind the scenes of what's going on in our world, because it is pretty wild what's happening, but also to talk about when you do get everything you want all at once, how does that feel? And also to talk about when your whole world is shifting and changing and transforming right before your eyes. How is that? So as we go into this episode together, I want you to just think about yourself, your situation at the moment. How do you feel about change? What's going on in your world right now that needs change? Maybe something is changing in your world right now. How do you feel about it? What does it bring up for you when you hear the word change? I always talk about how change is scary, but it's imperative to growth. And it is imperative. If we're going to grow, we need to be willing to change. We're not going to fit into the box anymore. We're going to create a new box. We're going to have no box. We're going to be expanding outwards. And I really feel that for myself right now. However, when it all happens at once, it is really full on. So at the moment, my husband has owned a gym for the past 10 years. Since I met Hamish, he was a personal trainer. When I first got with him, he had purchased this gym and was setting himself up. We moved there. It was awesome. We set it up. I painted it. I don't know how many times when I was pregnant. It went through so many renovations. The kids there, being born there, crawling on the floor, me getting my hernia there with my second born, trying to do a deadlift or a squat of some shit that I did. You know, the second baby being born, my husband went through business partner, different trainers, different models. It's been a massive experience and a massive journey, that gym. Then when my husband decided to become a coach and shamanic healer, he used the office up there for his sessions. I went downstairs. We tried to make that a yoga studio, and then it was a dance studio, and then it was just Hamish's meditation space. And then recently it became the Queen of Confidence shipping department. We had all the tissue paper and all the books, like boxes of thousands of books and pink everything, okay? It was like a Australia Post, but pink. And it became a hub for our team, for us to have our meetings. And my pink office, if you follow me on Instagram, as you know, the pink office is where all the magic happens, where I record my podcast, where I do my reels, where I do my content, and I do all my coaching. And that office it's like I don't know, it feels like a temple. It feels like a temple. When I first came into that office, we were dead broke. I had no money. I had no clients. I was just starting to create my business. And it was wild because it was just an ugly room. And I think someone used it for massage before that. We rented it out. And I said to my husband, I'm going to move in down here with you. He was using the office as well. We were both sharing the office. I decided to paint the wall pink. He was still using my office, technically his office that I stole. And he was having his sessions and he's like, that wall is a little bit distracting. And upstairs office became available. He moved and I spray painted the wall with the sisterhood and my logo. That's actually where the logo was born. We had Jose come, who's an amazing Salvadoreño. He's a graffiti artist. And he came in and he did a crown. I was like, I don't want a tiara. I don't have any association with the queen or fucking tiaras. And y'all, my logo is a crown. Okay. So it is a fucking tiara. It's a street tiara. Anyway, Jose comes and he does this like street crown and he writes sisterhood in the middle. And I'm like, yes. And I was just like, I fucking love this. And for a long time, that was my wall. It was a darker pink. It was like a reddy pink. And everything evolved. Everything shifted. I started doing my Q&A Tuesdays. I was coaching women there. Had my first clients there. I was seeing Nikki and Kim and Mel and, just everyone from back in the day, Lily, Maddie, all of y'all, shout out to y'all. My first client, Silvana. I had heaps of first beginner clients that came to me when I was starting my coaching business. And that room held so much. That room held space, saw the women, held the women. Those walls have I don't even know. It makes me emotional thinking about it, how much that room has held and how much has been created there, how many tears have been cried there, mine and my clients. It's where I started my Q&A Tuesday on Instagram, my weekly IGTV show. It's where my son would be bouncing in the bouncer while I'm videoing and filming. And so it's the room where all of our dreams and our goals and our weekly meetings and our vision boarding would happen. It's the room where the book, Confidence Feels Like Shit, was birthed. And to now go, we're leaving. And the owners of the building are going to take that office and they're like, can you just paint it white? And I was like, yeah, cool. Of course. You guys don't want a hot pink room, right? But clearing the room out with Nikki, who there's another change coming for Nikki. And it's like so much fucking change. We changed fucking bank accounts in July. It was ridiculous. We changed too much in July. And me and Nikki are in there just breaking it apart, putting things away, pulling off the signs. And the room was empty. And we just sat in there and started crying. I was like, do you remember you were here? Do you remember this? Do you remember that? And I just wanted to reflect this because it's so huge change. And change is hard. It is hard. However, what comes on the other side of a change like this is so exciting and so worth the difficult feelings and the uncomfortability and the tears and the unknown and the worry and the fear and the shit. Is it going to work out? We're going to do the right thing. How's the next place going to be? And the mourning and the sadness. So I just want to acknowledge that if you're in a moment of change or transition, which a lot of people are that I'm speaking to this year, we've been locked away for 2 fucking years and now the world's open and we're like, all right, let's do everything we didn't get to do for 2 years and then some. That's how it feels for me. I'm sure it feels like that for you or maybe some of you listening. So I just want to acknowledge that even though it's exciting and on the other side of fear and on the other side of change is awesome stuff, it is hard. And I'm just acknowledging those of you out there who are moving through a transition right now. And I invite you to just give yourself the space and the time that you need to process the feels. It might be crying. You might be irritable. You might be sad. You might not know why you're angry, why you're frustrated, why you feel depressed, why you feel anxious. All of that might come and it's all welcomed. Welcome all of it because that's the process of change, of transition, to move through, to do different, to rebirth, to cocoon out of that, and turn into a butterfly. That shit is hard. It's a hard process. So the next day, my husband, me and Nikki were having a meeting at my house because now I don't have an office and I still have 1 month until the next space is open. Oh my God. And the next space is amazing. I can't wait to tell you all about that. So me and Nikki are at a cafe and Hamish, my husband, sends me a video and it's a time-lapse video of him painting the sisterhood wall. Oh, and it was so, I don't know, breathtaking to watch. It was 30 seconds. It probably took him 4 hours, but the time lapse was 30 seconds. And me and Nikki sat at that cafe just watching Hamish paint the wall white, paint over it. Obviously, he needs to do like 3 coats because that shit was bright. But I was like, wow. It was like the closing of the chapter. I talk to a lot of my clients who've been divorced, and it's when the divorce papers come in the mail. It's when you sign the lease to the house and you get the keys. It's when they move out and all their shit's gone and there's no one in that room. It's that moment, right? That moment of like, oh, we are complete. This is done. We're done. So that's what's been going on for us over here. And in the interim, as I said, this week, my kids were sick. Last week, this is what change can also bring. If you don't look after yourself, change can bring burnout. Excuse me. Change can bring you losing your voice. I lost my voice. So you got an IGTV last week because I lost my voice. That IGTV was fire though. I just got to say, sometimes I'll be doing some really good Instagram lives and I share them on the podcast because I know not all of y'all are on Instagram. And I know not everybody that listens to the podcast wants to be on Instagram, and you might be more audio than visual. So from time to time, I will share some fire IGTVs with you. Don't be mad at me. Sometimes I will post a podcast in my car. I am sorting out my microphone so that the car audio sounds better. Shout out to the Spotify team for supporting me with that and going, girl, you need a wireless microphone. But I wanted to share that because if we don't acknowledge that the change can do a lot to us, our health, our wellness, our mental health, our families. It can rock the boat in relationship, at work. You know, we're so personal. The shit that goes on in your personal life affects everything. And so I have been working out, which is also another change. I've been training 3 days a week with a personal trainer who's kicking my culo. He's kicking my ass. I love you, Joe. He's amazing. 3 days a week. And I'm paying the dollars to go see Joe because I know my ass is not going to go by myself. Because what I know is that I will work before I get my ass up and move my body. So if that's you, invitation to hire someone and get some help, right? So you could change that habit and start moving your body. And I could tell you right now that if we were doing all of this change and all of this transition and I was not moving my body, I was not going to the gym and exercising or looking at what I was eating, I would 100,000,000% be stiff, be sore, be depressed, be numbing out, be watching Netflix or on fucking, I don't do TikTok. I actually deleted it. That's another podcast. I'm going to talk about that. But I would be numbing out of, of my life on Instagram. I love me some Instagram. I'd be drinking alcohol on a weekday very casually. Like it's not a big deal to drink red wine during the week, 5 times a week. It is. P.S. That shit ain't normal. Something going on. Like I would not be okay. So the fact that I'm moving my body and worrying about what I'm eating and moving that energy and having sore bones and sore muscles through this transition has really helped anchor me into my embodiment of my body. What does my body need? I need to slow down. I need to shower. I need to cry. All of that. So that's number one, that big change of physically moving my body. Another one is communication. When change is happening, communication is even more important than ever. And y'all know I've been talking about it on the podcast. I am the communication. I should be called the queen of communication. The queen of community, the queen of communication, the queen of loving Instagram, the queen of saying bad words. All of those titles work for me. I love me a chat. I love me some talking. I love me some paraphrasing, sharing how I feel. And if I didn't have clear and confident, concise communication with my husband during this process, with my team members, with my children, and with my community, next level. I don't know how I'd be. I'd be really burnt out and really stressed out because there's a lot that hasn't been able to happen due to the change. There's a lot of things with schedule conflicts. There's a lot of expectations that maybe I or others have put upon me that aren't able to happen because of all the change. I really fucking underestimated moving. I really underestimated moving. My husband will laugh if he listens to this. Fuck you, Hamish. He's like, babe, what did you think? We were going to just move out casually. Like we need to book it in our calendar. And I did not book it because subconsciously I was like, oh, he's got this. And that's not nice. But I was like, he's got this. And that created some tension in our relationship for like 2 hours. And we had to talk about it. And he had to tell me how he felt. And I had to tell him how I felt. And I can see my clients getting into trouble when change and transition occurs because our communication is not lit. Our communication is not happening. We're not expressing how we're feeling. We're burnt out. We're numbing out. We're not aware of how our body is. And we have no energy. And when you are changing, energy is needed. Right now, my son's home sick. I just had to go pick him up. So if you hear him sniffling in the background, that is Raven Kramer, just chilling on the bed like a king with pillows around him watching Beyblades. And even that, like today, I was meant to get my lip lasered. I was meant to get my face needles. I was meant to do this, that. It's like, well, that ain't happening. How are you going to be with that change of plans? And if you are a rigid person, if you know yourself to be rigid or controlling or, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, by the way, we're rigid or controlling because of many reasons. And a lot of it is our past traumas. So I'm not saying this to accuse anyone of anything nasty, because I was very rigid for many years and it served me. Okay. But if you are rigid, controlling, you would call yourself a control freak, change is really difficult. And what I want to say to you is the more fluid you can be in your life, the more fluid you can be, the more you can move like water with your life, with changes, with relationships, with people, with things, the more fluid, less rigid. More fluidity creates your ability to move and receive miracles, receive the intuition, receive what's coming. My rigidness was blocking the miracles. What do I mean by that? This is the way it is. It has to be like this. I need it to be like this. Well, it's not going to be like that. Well, I'm not moving. It has to be like this. It has to be like this. It has to be like this. Who knows if I don't get this house on the weekend? Who knows if I don't do that thing? Maybe that's a gift. Maybe I dodged a bullet. Maybe there's something better. 1,000,000% there's something better. So what I mean by being fluid with change is being willing to move. The universe, God, Buddha, Allah, whoever you believe in, spirit, will poke you and push you. And if you move willingly, you'll get out of the way so that something better can come. You will make space for the next great thing. And at the time, it feels shit. I didn't get the house. I didn't get the job. I didn't do the thing. It didn't happen for me. They said no. Yeah, but who else is about to say yes? You didn't get that so that you could have that that's coming. And if you're rigid, you fucking block the miracles that are on their way to you. You are going upstream, as Abraham Hicks says, and it's like, that's exhausting. Go downstream, go with the water, go with the flow. Go with the flow. And as you go with the flow and believe that what is yours will be yours, will come. The change that is coming is necessary because of what's coming behind that you can't see and I can't see. But I know that amazing shit is coming in this up level. And recently I got some news about some change that I'm not 100% happy about. I was really sad. We had a big cry about it. But I know in my heart and soul that this change is necessary and it's amazing. And what's coming behind that, who knows? But I can guarantee you that it's fucking incredible. When it hurts hard, it's a level up. When it's really bad, I know some miracle shit is coming. When it's really difficult, I know it's a high level Erica 55.0. I know it is, because when it's hard and you're down and you're at rock bottom, you're only going up. And when you go up, it's like really up. And so I'm feeling this change and this shift and this poke from the universe. It's like, go that way, go this way, do this. I'm like, fuck. I'm like one of those bobbleheads in the car right now. But I'm trusting that my fluidity and the ability for my neck to be fluid and flexible as I bobble back and forth, up and down in circles, it's leading me exactly where I need to be. And it's leading you exactly where you need to be. And there's good shit coming, my love. There's good shit coming. And if you're going through some hard transitions or difficult things right now that maybe you don't have all the answers to and you don't see why or what's happening, trust that something greater than you is making this happen for you, even if it's difficult, even if it's hard, even if it's hard to bear, because on the other side of that shit is everything you want and desire. And trust that that is coming at its perfect time, which is not on your time. It's when it's meant to happen, how it's meant to happen. And it's so mysterious. And your fluidity is going to support you in this massive change. So I just wanted to drop that to you. This is what's present for me right now. This is what's going on for me right now in our family. It's huge. There's so much. Hopefully we get this house on the weekend. And if we don't, there's another house coming for me that is better. You know what I'm saying? If we don't, we don't. There's no emotional connection to any of it. I am not attached. I'm excited and unattached and trusting the process, trusting my process, trusting your process, trusting that all that shit that's meant to happen will happen. And the new space is going to be sexy. It's a office/warehouse. So the warehouse section of it is going to be an event space. So we're going to be running all of our events for our sisterhood members, all of our events that are up and coming, I cannot wait. I hope you can make it out to Melbourne and come to one of our events. If you're not already subscribed to my email list, just go to the website, thequeenofconfidence.com, join the newsletter so that you can get all the info. I don't send bullshit, I promise. I only send good shit, and I will not spam you. And if you feel spammed, just unsubscribe, yo. It's all good. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the events. I'm excited for the office, the podcast room. My husband's got a beautiful view of the wetlands, which is like this bushy, greenery, swampy, beautiful thing. I can't wait. I can't wait for all of it. Fuck, it's July 2022. Yes, it is. I feel it is. This is that mid-year level up. To any of my sisters who are listening to this, if you're in the sisterhood, we are having a masterclass called Mid-Year Level Up Masterclass. And we're going to check in with the 2022 goals. If you downloaded the 2022 goals and intention workbook that I did and I do at the beginning of every year, this workshop is an opportunity to check in with how you're going, to reflect on the previous 6 months of the year. Are you on track to hit your goals? Where you at? It's a mid-year check-in, mid-year level up. If you're on the wrong track, that's okay. If you're on the right track, fantastic. We could readjust. So if you haven't joined me in the sisterhood, we are open for the next couple of weeks. Make it happen. Stop messing around. This program's incredible. It will completely transform your life. And we're surrounded by incredible and amazing women who support you and me. You get me live coaching every month, a couple times a month. We're live. And it's an impactful and incredible community that has changed my life. And also we do live events, so you can come to Melbourne. So that's it there. The podcast is over. Last thing I want to say, that's a change that I've been waiting for. As a woman of color from a marginalized community who grew up on welfare and food stamps and did not have any money. And 4 years ago, when I started the Queen of Confidence coaching business, could not fucking find coins in my car to buy bougie bread for my kids. I had $150K in debt. And I'm now making 6 figures a month. And we are financially free. And I work 3 days, if that. And I'm free to do what I wish with our dollars. I'm investing. We're doing amazing shit financially. And I live this ridiculous life after a fucked up life of trauma and loss and grief. And I say that to say this. The only thing that changed my life was my ability to get a credit card and to invest in coaches and programs like my programs, to come to retreats, to learn from people like myself who have walked the walk and have the tools to help me transform. That's how I changed my life. Now, that was credit card debt, 27% interest, fucked up. Do I regret it? Hell no, because look who I am today and I can create what I want. However, that system is not designed to help us. And I think Rachel Rogers says something around, don't have shame about your debt because you need to get into debt in order to get yourself out of the hole that you're in so that you can be who you want to be, create the wealth you want to create, pay that debt off, and then some. And that's my reality. I'm grateful for the debt. However, I have been seeking for years for a way to support my women who want to work on themselves and financially cannot. They just financially can't do it. They can't do the payment plan. They can't do the upfront payment. They maybe don't have credit cards or can't get credit cards or don't want to get credit cards. And so I'm very happy to say that we have found 2 funding partners. The word is funding, not financing. It is not interest. It is not credit card debt. It is not loans. It is funding. There is no interest. You are able to break your payments up to 18 months, which is something that I, as a company owner, cannot extend. I can't extend the payment plan that long. This company can. I've got 2 partners, one in the US, America, and one in Australia. We are working on the UK. So please stay tuned for that, my UK people and my Canadian people. But at the moment, America and in Australia, I can fund through our programs. So if you have ever wanted to work with me and that has held you back, I want to let you know right now that we can support you. And if that's the case, click the link inside of these show notes. Just go to my website or fucking DM me on Instagram. I am there, as always. Send me an email, support@thequeenofconfidence.com. That is support, SUPPORT, at thequeenofconfidence.com. Happy to let you know about this funding option. It is a game changer for women who want to heal their past, women who want to work on creating their business of their dreams, women who want to change their lives, women who want to come to retreat. Fucking game changer. I'm really happy about this change. We've been looking for it. We found it. High five to all of us. I hope you have the best fucking week. And thank you deeply for being in my world and for listening to this episode. Have the best week, my love. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate your ears, your time, your energy, and your attention. Please do me a favor and head over to Apple iTunes, subscribe so that you don't miss an episode. Share this episode with a sister who you know needs to hear it. And if you feel called to, leave me a review. I'd love to know what you think about the podcast. I'd love to know how this information is helping you change your world. Thank you so much for being here. I know that there are many podcasts you could listen to, and I really appreciate you listening to mine. Have a gorgeous week, honey.